Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here, and this is Cards and Castles 2, and in this video I'm going to tell you how to get started with this game and why you might want to get started with this game. This is a card game much in the grand tradition of Magic the Gathering and then Hearthstone, borrowing quite a few things from Hearthstone but also having really nice own twists in the game as well. I came across this game when the developers were looking for card game streamers to advertise their game, so I streamed the game, and while I was streaming the game I also learned enough about the game to tell you how to effectively get started about this game and why it's a game worth playing. So I assume you know something about card games and in particular something about Hearthstone, and there are a lot of similarities between this game and Hearthstone. As you can see, we have mana cost, there are gold cost in this game with the cards. Minions have stats, they have attack and health stats, okay, so very familiar. Hearthstone has this, Magic has this. Many of the keywords also function in similar ways to Hearthstone. When you start a game, there's a mulligan phase. I'm like, hey, yeah, we do this in Hearthstone as well. So we mulligan some cards away, we got some new cards that we start with. But then you start to notice some differences. Just look at this board. The board is the main innovation of this game. Actually, there have been board and card game hybrids before. Duelyst comes to mind, dead game nowadays. But I did play Duelyst when it was still alive, and I think this one is actually better. But before delving too deep into the board, there are some more similarities to Hearthstone. Well, hand size, unable to draw too many cards. We have a deck here. We have the mana, which in this game is called gold, and you will get one more each turn until a maximum of 10. Sounds familiar, perhaps? If you run out of cards in your deck, you start taking fatigue damage, and you take more damage the more times you have tried to draw from an empty deck. Might also sound familiar. And there is also no interaction on the opponent's turn, just like in Hearthstone. When you look at your cards, as an upside, you get these little tooltips that show you what all the keywords mean. So, Blast Well activates when destroyed. Well, yeah, that's like Death Rattle in Hearthstone. But there are also some keywords that don't directly come from Hearthstone, and most of those come from the way the game works with the board. So looking at the board, we have a couple of buildings here. Both players have a castle, also pay to summon a 1/1 peasant, so basically that's your hero power, except that both players always have the same hero power based on the castle. Then there's also a supply depot. When this is destroyed, your opponent draws a copy of a card from your deck, so you get a copy of something that your opponent has in your deck. Some additional resources are available. When you start playing your units on the board, the units can't do anything on the turn they are played unless they have charge. Yeah, familiar from Hearthstone, right? And when it comes to positioning, you typically want to start moving either the top lane or the bottom lane. So when you place a unit on the board, the unit can move 2 squares, unless it has elusive keyword, which means that it can move more. A unit that can move 2 squares and it can only move in straight line, so 1, 2 for example, you can't move 2 squares diagonally. Which means that often you want to start here at the top so that you can threaten both the supply depot and the castle. So now I can move over here, and even though I can only move in straight lines, I cannot attack diagonally. So now this is able to attack either the supply depot or the castle. I can swing the castle, which basically is the same as swinging at the face. Yeah, and I do like that. Swing at the face is a lot of fun in Hearthstone and also in this game. The board really gives more strategic depth to this game. You can physically try to block the opponent's movements. You have to think about where you're going to move on the board. Because my plan here is to move here. Because this has cleave, so this attacks in a whirlwind pattern. I want to go here and I want to attack the castle, which is face. And then there's also this supply depot. When this is destroyed, your opponent draws a copy of a card from your deck. Now they moved that here in front of me so that I can't move there. Unless there's no direct equivalent to taunt in this game, you can't force everyone to attack a single minion because, well, it can be anywhere on the board. Although there is Guardian. And when you place a Guardian unit, then that protects nearby buildings. So this Guardian unit has to be silenced or it has to be destroyed before the building itself can be attacked. So that's sort of like a taunt, but limited only to protecting your face and other possible buildings that you may play. So in practice, this game combines the card game aspect of Hearthstone with this board-based strategy. And there are many effects in this game that affect the board. You can have various effects that misplace characters on this board, so that you can try to get your opponent's characters into awkward positions, or you can body block your opponent's characters. See what happens with this. Ooh, it opens up a path for me. Wonderful. I'm just going to go there. And some effects that may be a little bit too random in Hearthstone work much better in this one. Because for example in Hearthstone we have effects that sometimes attack random minions. Here we have Berserk. Berserk minions attack random enemies, but because they're restricted by the board, then where you play your Berserk minion has an effect on where it can attack. Berserk minions also get to attack twice basically, because they attack at the start of your own turn and at the very start of your enemy's turn. And sometimes you can also trap your opponent's Berserk minions by giving them attractive targets, so that when the turn changes and the Berserk minion is going to attack, then something awkward is going to happen to it. Just a lot of strategy related to the board. There's also a sniper effect, which allows characters to attack anywhere. But sniper is both charge limited, so you can only do limited amount of sniper attacks with the minion, and also while it has sniper, its attack cannot be increased, so you can't just snipe the opponent's castle from the other side of the board. Overall, this board aspect really gives the game a lot more depth, because otherwise the game is quite low RNG. Although there are some specific instances where there is RNG in this game as well. Like I had this game where both of us had a minion that summons minions that go berserk and attack randomly whenever it's damaged, and yeah, that results in some craziness. Berserk squirrels all over the place. And if these squirrels attack that, then that's gonna summon more squirrels, and no. But for the most part, it's about your card game skills and about your board strategy. When you start playing this game, there are a couple of things that you want to do. First, you're going to play through a tutorial, and after the tutorial, you want to go beat up some AI opponents. Because at the moment the game is actually quite generous for a free-to-play player. You're going to get 7 starter decks, but you don't have all of these unlocked immediately. You unlock all the starter decks by playing a few games against the AI. So the first step is to click play and go into some games against the AI. You can use any decks you want, just play against the AI until you unlock all starter decks and until you complete the beginner pass. There is a battle pass system in the game where you are going to have these periodic battle passes that have rewards like rewards track in Hearthstone. The beginners have their own, and beginner pass is going to give you some really sweet cards. So you generally want to play a few games. I think it took me like 6 or 7 games against AI until I had completed the beginner pass and I had unlocked all the starter decks, and that's when I had a good chunk of cards that I could build my decks on. And to get an even better start to the game, the developers also gave me a promo code, so you can go to the shop and you can enter a gift code. And the gift code is Old Guardian, and that's going to get you 5 packs of cards, so even more free cards to start with. The game has fully functional deck codes, so when you go to decks, you can look through your card collection and you can look through your decks. And whenever you edit a deck, you are able to export the deck and you're able to import decks as well. So down below in the description, I have a couple of deck codes for my favorite decks. One is Cookies Lords 2.0, which is made out of completely free cards. So it's possibly the strongest deck that you can build from the starter card, so that's a good way to get started. And another code is for a really fun Dinosaur deck. I didn't quite have all the cards and I had to craft a couple of cards for it, but I just had a blast playing this even without the legendary card in it. Found the decks in the official community Discord. There's also a link to that down below in the description. So that's an excellent source of knowledge, because obviously depending on when you're going to check this video, these decks might no longer be functional or available, but you can always find more decks from the Discord. With your new decks, you're ready to meet other human players. Just go into play and enter a quick match, which is the main format of constructed gameplay in this game. One thing of note is that after you have completed a quick match, you end up in a lobby together with your opponent and possibly some other players as well, where you're able to chat with those players. Once you're in a lobby, you can continue playing regular ranked games with the quick match button at the bottom right, or you can also challenge other players in the lobby to fight friendly games against you, with automatch to automatically challenge someone, or individually by their name. So this is a fair bit more social approach to the game community than anything that you can find in Hearthstone. You can also leave the lobby at any time with the exit button on the top left. Finally, let's take a look at these cheap beginner decks in action and have fun with the game. Can't view the factions. I don't know what these factions are. Add contraband to your hand. Oh, we got a rider, that's nice. If they ignore the rider, then the last will. It's going to destroy this anyway. Alright, this is fine. Everything gets destroyed here, and we get a warrior on the board. What? Whoa. That's a lot of stuff. I don't have any playable cards. Now I have a playable card. Yay. Why did you have to move towards my own castle? 5 mana next turn, so everything's too expensive apart from the Arm Lightning, which I kind of only want to use if they swarm the board. A 7/8. Whoa. Okay, then I guess I have to use this. I really can't have that one. Really can't have that one come in swinging. Oh, that's some kind of a last will deck. 6 I can do Lieutenant now. Could also do... That has Cleave. I think I want the Lieutenant. Well, now I got an additional 10 mana. Which means that we actually want to do this. Use it to kill that so we draw a card. This one can just move over there. Also summon a peasant in the corner. And summoning the peasant was wrong. That was from the treasure. Sorry about that. I could have had enough gold to summon a swordsman next turn. I just saw the castle was shining, and I wanted to click on it because it's shown. Because if there's a shiny thing, then why would you click on it? But yeah, obviously you'd say that's all for the swordsman. No, everything's frostbitten. Sad times. And a Titan out there. Titan would have been the play even if I had saved the treasure, but that might have opened up swordsman for the following turn. Alright, so far so good. I'm going to zap that. So this gets to attack the castle. This gets to attack the castle and that one. With your most recent last will effect. I don't think I have any. We'll just play one of these over here. And the lightning does not represent lethal even with this one. So I can dispel the Guardian effect and then win the game, right? Can I not? No more Guardian. Win the game. Boom. See. The baby dino. Wonderful. Exactly what I wanted. I control Dinosaur, yes I do. I guess I can play this. And I can get... Mounted Triceratops isn't bad, right? One of those. This just quietly sneaks to the castle. Also, when I take hit, some friendly unit dies. Oh dear, oh dear. Sounds scary. I still think I want to kill that. Set up Pterodactyl here. Well, now my Pterodactyl no longer... Wow, in construction. No idea what those dwarves are going to do. I don't think I have met anything like this before. One treasure each time you play a dragon. Really? Well, I can play this now. Let's come over here and start smacking at the castle. Maybe I needed to destroy the Draconic Temple. That's also possible. Because they're getting a lot of extra gold from those. We'll see how that goes. Just going to kill that one. I'm going to keep attacking the castle. We'll see what happens. I'm just worried that with these temples, they're soon going to be able to do some really crazy stuff that I don't know about yet. But it kind of has to happen now. Well, the dispel effect helped. I'm going to destroy that. It's going to attack the castle. So I can put the castle down to 8. I could also put the castle down to 4. I think I want the Titan here now. Titan, keep attacking the castle. They also removed the temples. Oh. Well, that was a powerful move, I guess. Now the lumberjack is in front of me, so I can't get to the castle. Not super happy about this. Is this like Yu-Gi-Oh? No, this is much more like Hearthstone. Much more like Hearthstone, I would say. Two baby dinos. Really? Going to destroy that. There's some baby dinos out there. Freeze that one. See what happens next. If they have a similar spell that destroys everything, then that's actually bad for them because these have a death rattle effect, or last will effect in this game. That knight was good. What am I mean? Ooh, lots of heals. If that's frostbitten, does it still guard? I don't know. I think we want to do it like this. Destroy that over there. I'll summon this here. Buff up that when it kills this minion. I'll also summon this. It's going to kill that minion. So we do it like this. We have 10 gold, 3 cards in hand only. No units on the board. Okay, a charging Drake. Fine. Right, well now these berserk units are going to just attack something randomly. Just frostbite those. Oh, it still guards. I thought it wouldn't because it's behind the building. Well, that's my bad. I really thought it wouldn't be able to guard because it's behind. Yeah. I thought it wouldn't be able to guard because it's behind the building, but now I'm not sure what behind the building means, actually. Now I no longer know. Just want to kill the guard now. Finally. I want to summon the mounted Triceratops here. So this can attack the castle. The blacksmith out there and can frostbite one of those. Let's see. Yeah, that was a bit of a... I really thought, because it says that it can't guard if it's behind castle. So I really thought it wouldn't be able to guard it. Apparently it was. And this is just lethal. Alright. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.